as I was saying, before my camera so rudely interrupted me, kind of decided to stop recording. I really wanted to split it into parts anyway, so it was kind of losing track of time, but I'm glad it did that though. I had to delete the older video, so see how this works out. Mega Man Anniversary Collection, I want to get more into this. It's got Mega Man 1 through 8, but so I really owe it to myself. It's lets me experience pretty much all the classic Mega Man games right there. So I lucked out. But I don't think the controls work very well for it. I think you need that classic control for the classic feel. Medal of Honor Frontline. The GameCube controls, I don't think really. I think this made this game terrible. I don't know. First-person shooters usually aren't great on the GameCube, aside from a few exceptions. I knew part of my head's cut off again. I don't know what happened to the ankle, but I had liked that before. But Mega Man X Command Mission, I actually really like this. It's a really cool RPG. I think it worked really well. Oh, Metroid Prime. Yeah, this is the exception, I'd say. I wasn't really into it as much. I didn't give it much of a shot though, because it was kind of turned off by first-person shooters back then, because I really wasn't into them aside from GoldenEye, but I need to get back into them. NBA 2K2. I actually really like this game, which is odd. This is probably not the best game, but I just love making amazing shots and getting so impressed. Well, it's really up to luck, especially when you're doing really long shots, but you know, I like basketball, so it's good. Nicktoons Unite, really a meh game, not very good at all. Wouldn't recommend it. Odama, it would seems really cool looking in the box, and like the whole Japanese culture and how it works in there, but I heard it was like a really good integration of it, but for us it really didn't work. The microphone controls at all didn't work, but maybe that's just us. I don't know. One Piece Grand Adventure. Really like this game, but it glitched out for some reason. Like all these games glitching out, but glitched out for some reason because there's multiple storylines from different main characters of the series. But after the first one, it like wouldn't let me move on to the second, like as if I never beat the first one. It like saved right before the last boss, and then when I beat it, didn't really recognize it. I don't know if I'm just being stupid or something, but I really like this game though. One Piece Grand Battle. No reason to get this, because this is pretty much just a worse version of that, but minus like the entire story mode. It's just the versus part, which is a tiny little part of that game, so there's no reason to get this, but I got this first. Yeah. This is actually going the wrong way, so let's go like this. One Piece Pirates Carnival. This is like a party game, but really poorly done. Not a fan at all. Super Mario the Thousand Year Door. If you own a GameCube, you need to have this. I absolutely require you to have this. Come on. Excellent game. Can't recommend it enough. It's definitely at the very top of my favorite games of all time. Excellent RPG. It's simplistic enough for anyone to get into it, but it's also complex enough for any hardcore gamer can be satisfied from it. So the partners are all great. I love the storyline to it. Quirky humor. It's all great. Pikmin, wasn't as impressed with it, but I'm starting to be impressed because now I have Pikmin 2. I don't have it on the GameCube, but I have it on the Wii with the new play control, and it actually works really well with the play control, by the way. But I'm really impressed with that. But I mostly didn't like this because it has a time limit, and that's kind of a little nitpicky. But I really don't like games with time limits because I really like to take it slow often in games. I don't like to be rushed. It's like, if I want to do a speed run, I'll do a speed run, okay? Pokemon Coliseum. And here I got Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc, which my brother used already, which you can get Jirachi with. here I got Pokemon XD. Honestly, I got this first. I really lucked out and got it for like $20 at a yard sale across the street that my best friend at the time actually had, which was cool. Which was actually a really good price at the time. This was back in the GameCube's heyday. It's a really classic memory thinking about it, but I love the shiny case, but this is where I got it first. But this is actually a sequel to Pokemon Coliseum, and they're very similar. Like, I noticed completely. Pokemon XD is pretty much a refined version of this. Like, you have some of the same exact areas and same exact characters and things happening. But I really love this game. It's actually quite possibly my favorite Pokemon game. Maybe after Pokemon Yellow or Diamond, but it's really debatable. I put it in my top 10 at the very bottom, but still, I really find it hard to choose, but I really loved it. And Pokemon Coliseum, like I said, is just a little worse than the other. Actually, let's put this here. Oh. Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem. This is back when I was just a little child and I picked out a game off the shelf. I got this. It was decent, I guess, from what I remember, but what good are those memories really? Because anything could probably impress me at that time. Yeah, me and my brother actually had to help me do it because I wasn't very good at games back then. Still not good at games, I wouldn't say, but definitely not as bad as I was then. I could beat this at least. But it's basically like a Luigi's Mansion kind of thing, but with Scooby-Doo and the little worse. Shadow the Hedgehog. Many people didn't like it, but I like the whole morality thing with a Sonic game. You know, it's technically Shadow, but it's a Sonic character in Sonic universe. But it was really unique for the time. Really like them to do that again, but see like a more refined and polished version of that. Shrek 2. I actually really like this game. It's a great fun in multiplayer with 4 players and everything. It's a lot of fun. I mean, my brother doesn't like it near as much. Like, I always try to get him to play co-op through with me, because it's not very hard to get through the story, but I liked it. Don't yell at me, okay? Here I got The Sims. I got games all over there. I really love The Sims. It's hard to express my love for it. I love simulation games, like I said. This is just such an innovation for me because I didn't play it. Actually, I did play it on the PC, but it was a lot more convenient doing this on the GameCube, though. Even though it might not have been as good, but I actually continued with it though later on. The Sims busting out. And definitely not as good as The Sims, but it's interesting that they had like story mode focused. I tried getting more into it because there's like a whole in-depth story on it and different areas you can go to. Like it's like a dance club, military command center. There's a nudist colony, which I was excited to see, but never got there yet. There's like vehicles, you could drive around vehicles. Well, there are vehicles in all the Sims games, I think, but that one you actually saw them drive around in it. Sims 2, I really love this, especially. This might be my favorite Sims game, but I don't think it's the best, but maybe my favorite. The co-op was fantastic with this. Whenever I have my friend or my brother over, it's always fun to play this together. A lot of fun. You can play side by side, split screen. Skies of Arcadia Legends. I used to like make fun of my brother for playing this because it's like, oh, that's a stupid game, but that was back when I was a kid, and obviously I know a lot better now. And I know this is considered a real classic for people, especially on the Dreamcast where it originally started. But I've also heard it's great, obviously, because this is just a port, but a little improved. So I really want to get back into this, like thinking about the things that happened in the game. I think I'd really enjoy it now if I played it again. Sonic Adventure DX, the director's cut. Again, it's one of those cases where it's like, not fantastic, but it's not terrible. Like, it's a decent Sonic game, but really, I feel like a lot of these 3D Sonic games, they're like unfinished. They didn't check the game for bugs and things. Like, some of these things are really messed up, but I don't know what to do with you, Sonic. Sonic Heroes. I actually really like this Sonic game, though. It's cool you get to pick out of different teams. Team Dark, Team Chaotix, Team Rose, and Team Sonic. It's really cool. You got all the different arrays of Sonic characters. There's like one power, one flying, and one speed character. It was really cool how they integrated those different play styles into mechanics. Sonic Mega Collection is really a great deal. Like, you get Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Spinball, and Sonic 3D Blast, all in one game. It's really fantastic, but I played the Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, so I wanted to start with the first. And the controls, I just really found to be very loose and wonky for the game. I don't know if it's just because it hasn't aged well, but I can't imagine it's like that though. So I'll have to give it another go, try to adapt to it. Because I never played the original Sonic game because it didn't own Sega systems. Sonic Riders. It's a decent fun if you want to joke around with a friend one time, but really not worth playing through. Soul Calibur 2, great game. It's really not... People praise this game a lot, and it's awesome that there's a Link in there. That's a crossover character. That was great. Like, it definitely beats Spawn in the PlayStation 2 or Xbox version. It might be both. I think it was one, maybe a different character in the PS2, but I thought it was just very simplistic. It was just constant button mashing. It really didn't take very much skill, I didn't think, for me at least. Spawn Armageddon. It's really just here for show, because there's like a part like 15 minutes in, clearly barely get a taste of the gameplay, and then there's like a bug that always stops at that part, so don't really have an urge to get another one, because Spawn, I really don't know much about it. So, SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants. This is actually a fairly fun game. It's got some really good games. Mini games. It's a mini game compilation thing, but party game where you can play with your friends and family, whatever. Really enjoyable. But definitely not a polished game again. SpongeBob looks like crap in 3D because he's really not designed for it. Even though you wouldn't think it'd be hard to put a sponge in 3D. And all these other characters. But they always come out terrible. Seriously. I guess they shouldn't really focus on the graphics if you're aiming for kids anyway, but hey, I love SpongeBob. SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I actually love this game. I think the gameplay is great. Much better than Lights Camera Pants, but like actually a really good standalone game. This is why cartoons have had a certain charm for me. Like, I like to pick up the cartoon games because sometimes you'll find some love in there when you wouldn't expect it at all. Definitely overlooked. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. It was best explained in a forum I go to regularly, one of the ones I do. They said it was a very 90s game because it's all about collectibles. It's very Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64, but to so much of an extent. I enjoyed it fairly, but I really got tired of it, and then I got lost of what to do because I was trying to beat the game. There's only 2 worlds left or something like that. But sometimes the game has so much going on that you really don't know where to go next. So I think that works against it a lot of times, which is unfortunate. Hold on, guys. I'll be